Here we go. Uncle Dennis is on the camera.
Jake goes mad.
It's the 4th. It's the experimental show.
Jake's itching to get this party started.
Let's get it going.
All right, the words were smooth table or bumpy chair?
Rough chair, I think.
Rough chair. I wanted rough chair to win.
I didn't want either of them to win. Horrible. Horrible.
They're amazing words. I'm going to do something really cool. Mr. Jake picked words there for a while, and they were horrible, so I took over again. We're going with no color, and we're going to go with smooth table.
Smooth table it is, and Michelle's starting it up, so what's she going to do?
What am I going to do?
This is the experimental show,
you're
folks.
like all in the way here.
We've got multiple words that are voted for on Mondays on our Instagram. And
Wednesdays.
The winning, it's Wednesdays?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the winning words we experiment with. And we don't always do that. Sometimes we do some other stuff, but this is about not making something that is a product of ours, experimenting with something new. It's already an experiment that Michelle and I are working together because that doesn't happen too much. So we're kind of just experimenting with the glass. This show is supported and funded by our VIP members who pay $5 a month for some insider access and to be a part of the Glass Academy and be patrons of the arts. I got a video coming up soon. We're going to be going out to the Ren Fair. We're going to be cleaning up the shop and getting everything set. And if you've never seen our Ren Fair setup, you're going to be blown away. But we're going to make a nice VIP video of the team out there getting things done and show you, talk to you about what we do out there and how it goes down. That's going to be super cool. So if you guys are paying members, that's going to show up on the YouTube channel that you pay for. And stay tuned for that. But
do you want me to tell you what I'm doing or no?
For what we're doing. And yeah, you could say it or you could just go for it, whatever you want.
Okay, I'm going to take clear. It'll be all clear, dropping it on the marver. Then I need a small bit on top of it. So it's just a punny station bit. So how do I want to say that? I'm going to need a small bit after I squash it before I punny it because we're going to punny on that bit.
So you're gonna cut it off on the marver, and then we're gonna put a hot bit right on top of it, cut another bit right on top of it, and let it drip down onto the piece?
No, small bit that I'm gonna push with the Taglia flat, because I want to punny on that.
Maybe we'd pull out the chalk and talk about it.
All right, there's chalk on the side.
Yep.
So the finished table, can we move this beast for me?
It's not a beast, it's a beautiful torch.
So I'm going to cast a round patty, and then my table will have 4 legs.
You're actually making a table.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you making?
Something different.
And then...
It's not literal. We don't have to literally use the words, but that's cool.
So we're going to punny it there so that I can put the 4 legs on. Then we're going to re-punny it here. And then I need a blown bubble here because this is going to be a small hole for a little vase.
Aww.
The round table is actually getting cut on 4 sides, so it will be a square table, not a round table.
With the diamond saw?
No, with those big
the shears. Those don't cut too well.
Well, then I'll have to
cutting,
figure
you probably
out
want to use
something
the small
else.
shears, but...
Okay, and then the table legs are just round bits, 4 of them.
Hollow?
No, solid, and then I'm going to square them up a little.
All right.
With that.
It's going to be an interesting one, folks. I like it. Experimental show style. I've got our bent punny right here. I'm going to take away our door and expose the 2,500 degree action here. Matt actually did. Matt is one of our apprentices here at the Glass Academy, and just yesterday we were making jumbo pumpkins, and he was burning his arm gathering up the right amount of glass for pumpkin stems, which is a lot. And he, holy, here we go.
Yeah, what are you doing? We're getting started. Let's get this party started. I'm going to hand this to you and squash it. And then you could go ahead and bring me that smaller bit, please.
Oh, here's the smaller bit right here.
No, I want a fresh one.
Are you sure?
I want a fresh one.
It looks really good.
I want a fresh one.
Well, what I was trying to say is that it's been deciphered that you can get a tan from the furnace.
Step it up, my friend. Go ahead, I'm making the punny. Small bit, the size of a quarter, right in the center of that patty, please.
Here it comes. I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
No rest for the weary. Right in the center, squash it down because I'm going to punny it in a second.
Like that?
Yep. Nice and flat as you can get it. Thank you.
Pleasure's mine.
This is hot right here, just be forewarned. Oh. So
that's the top of the table, and that's going to be the base of her vase. Whoa.
The base of her vase.
Very nice.
Where's my shield?
You want to be shielded from the heat?
I do. So the trick is the patty just cooled off more than I would have liked. So can I heat it up enough? And I'm a wimp, so I need the heat shield. Blown Away had these like glass windows on there, so that were really cool.
Yeah, those were cool, but I mean, they're kind of like, really?
Yeah, really.
Necessary? Like,
have you worked with them before?
Yeah, I have. I always look around them.
You don't like them because you don't know how to work the didymium glass and protect your eyes and look through them?
I just want to see what I'm working with and not have 100 different glasses through my glass to get to my glass.
All right, let's see if this works. So I'm going to trim on top. Will you grab tweezers? Oh, it's ice cold.
Burr.
So maybe I take the torch and heat it up?
You could do that, yeah. I could also give it some good heat for you. That's all. That's pretty close. Looks pretty good.
Okay. I do not like the rocky bench.
The trick and the reason this is tough is what she's talking about is that you don't want to get the connection to the piece super hot because it's going to be flopping all over the place. But when we're working with a flat disc like this, there's only that much difference between the front of the table and the punty connection. So if I'm going to heat it up like this, it's inevitable the heat's going to transfer into the punty and it's going to be flopping around. So she's just got to be able to handle a floppy table and cut it.
No, I'm talking about a floppy this.
Oh yeah, it's floppy.
I know, we'll fix it. That's why they have adjustable legs on it.
Yeah, I've had so much time. I've had a lot of time around here to fix that bench between 8 o'clock last night and right now. But I will fix that, for sure. It's a slow build-up of heat. I think we can still do a little more. Flattened itself out. Right now it kind of looks like if we cut it with a little more angle, it could have been a Pac-Man. Didn't we make one of those on an experimental show before?
I don't know, but I hate Pac-Man. It just gave me a nightmare of
Hates
like...
Pac-Man, that's
well,
one
just
I've
because
never
I wasn't
heard before.
good at it, you know? Don't like stuff I'm not good at.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yes. Yes.
All right, we're gonna do 2 more. I just wanted a square
I like
table.
it a little oh, you're going square?
I do like it a little rectangle, but my original idea was no rounded edges. So to get a smooth table after it's been cast on the marber, one of the reasons I'm cutting it, it will take all the chill marks from the mold and the table off the piece.
When you cast glass, when you drop it onto a metal table like this, she's saying it puts like chill marks, it puts a texture on there. And if there's one word you can't forget about in the 2 words that we're working with today, it's one of the 2, which is smooth.
So Jake's being, I'm gonna do both. He's being an awesome assistant.
Nice.
Handing the pipe right at the level I need it.
Nice.
All right, so now...
That's a table. That punty's on there really good. Maybe it's worth like putting a neckline in between it or something.
I agree.
That's just because so much heat built up into it, it really made that connection extra strong. Too strong, one might say.
So I'm right on the burner to smooth out those edges. I could also use a torch, but I have time, so...
I could picture on the screen, it's smooth, the word shows up, and then it turns green. You put a big check mark next to it. Bing! Smooth table.
All right, so what Jake's saying is true. We're gonna make a little neckline in this.
Yes. I like it. I like
So
it
I'm
a
going to
lot.
do 4 legs.
Legs?
Legs.
Or
4
legs? What?
Did I stutter? What? Am I saying it weird?
So we're talking like about the thickness of like a stick of chapstick, yes?
Yes. All right, there's the table. So the 4 legs are going to come this way. I don't have my diamonds.
Leg number 1 coming in. I'm going to get it a little bit cylindrical here. The trick with this is bringing it at the right heat for her, because she cuts it on there too hot, this leg's going to be flopping left and right, and will never be straight, will never stand, will never be sturdy. So here we go.
So
Yes.
lovely.
Whoa.
And I'm actually going to square them up, because why not? Got our first leg.
I'm good to start up on leg number 2.
Just keep them coming. So leg number 2 will cool off, will be applied hot. Leg number 1 is cooling. Okay, the reason I chose this style of what I'm doing, there's someone in our neighborhood who, it's a mother whose child, she's actually taken over watching the kids, and she did this phenomenal fairy garden. So I'm just going to kind of have this table show up in the fairy garden with a little bud in it.
Oh, so this piece is already spoken for.
This piece is spoken for. And I'm going to have it, I'm going to pluck one of the flowers from her yard and put it in the vase.
Notice that one was a little bit big that time, so I'm going to shrink it down.
The other thing is, because I know it's going in earth, I'm not too concerned,
In the earth.
although I am watching, that all 4 legs, like this leg was a little short, but I'll squeeze it maybe a little longer. Oh yeah. I definitely don't have the right shoes on.
This is called bit running. When you go for 4, 5, 6, 7 of the same bits in a row, trying to keep them similar, keep them tight. It's kind of satisfying. It's that same production mindset of turning into robot and just letting your brain go to mush town. Everyone's got to do every now and again.
Mush town. Some people would say that's meditation.
No, mush town is different than meditation. Mush town is when you're on your 4th episode of Netflix and they say, "Are you still watching?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm still in mush town." Yep, that's what it is. Table leg number 4.
All right, it's feeling like blown away. Feeling like some heavy-duty concentration. This one was a little short, so I'm going to squeeze it a little longer. So I didn't put up a big punny.
You want a big punny?
I don't know. I mean, just give me a pretty solid punny. The trick now is that the legs are on the back side. When we transfer this, the legs will be on the back side of the punny. So I don't have a ton of time. Kind of hard to keep things on the back side without roasting the punny.
Roasting and toasting it?
So there's the table. Love the optics in it.
Making a thick punny here.
So I'm going to blow the bubble with my non-imaginary blowpipe.
Yes.
Could you run and put a blowpipe up before we punny?
Before we punny? I got the punny right here.
Yeah, but the legs won't stay warm. I mean, save the punny in the pipe warmer or however.
One pipe up.
Thank
Michelle
you.
was asking for a pipe because there's no pipes preheating. To blow a bubble with an ice cold pipe wouldn't work. It'd be nasty. Goo would come off of the pipe and it just wouldn't come out symmetrical. You lose a lot of heat when you gather glass on a cold blowpipe.
I'm gonna flash once more. So I'm gonna blow a bubble with a neck on it. So you just get to babysit this.
Perfect. So we got a punny here, not too hot, not too cold, just right. And we're gonna go for a transfer. I'll do it backwards because the torch is in the way. Beautiful. That's perfect. It's definitely funky when you've got a piece that comes down back onto the pipe like this. It's very strange.
All right,
but that looks
now
very
it's booty
table-ish.
time.
Table-ish, folks. Quite table-ish. You want me to torch and smooth out that break mark?
Sure.
All right. You gotta flash deeper than you think when you've got legs coming back onto the pipe. Typically, the feeling and the center of gravity all comes off of that punny mark. Everything's past that connection point. This one's backwards. The whole piece is being built towards the pipe, which is very strange. So I'm just gonna finesse it. Thank you. Take that corner just like this.
Scoot it back more.
Yeah. Perfect, thank you. Whoa, it's blasting. And so while I got time, while she's making this bubble, I asked her if it was cool if I just smoothed out this top area for her. That's gonna be the vase area. So I'm smoothing it out. She just broke it off of the pipe. That was the break part, so it's got some sharp edges and whatnot. And I'll just take 2 or 3 heats, build up the heat on a little bit, get it real juicy, and then flatten it out with something real smooth so it's not too texturous. If you know what I'm saying. There's really not much that you can use material-wise on the glass to shape it without giving it texture. Wood is going to be the best material for this, except the problem is, and actually this might work, it's flat enough on top, I probably could just use the paddle right on it. But everything else, metal always leaves metal marks. I don't know what we call those, we don't have a name for them. And everything else, other than like your finger, would leave some sort of tool mark on it. If you use your finger, then you get some sort of burn mark on your finger, and that's no fun either. But that's looking good. We're switching it up.
Jake had a little too many Red Bulls today.
Not me.
So you're
just
gonna
slept
bring
great.
it straight on. Don't heat the neck, please.
I understand.
So straight on, but now I got all this wood goop on it because you used the wood paddle.
What?
That's right.
Not me.
Did you see all that wood goop? So now when we add this, it won't be pretty. So let me flash it one more time, see if it will go away. Pull that out, just don't let that neck get hot. I just need the bottom
not
hot. Out, I don't want to knock this. Thank you. All right.
Ooh, it's a humid one today. Just got my hair cut. Feels good. It was getting long. Way too long. Eating up the neck like crazy. Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Woo!
Beautiful. The reason we did it that way is check out here now. It's just like breaking off like a cup if you made it or something. Michelle left an opening. She didn't close this all the way down, so now she can go in there with some real finesse action and open that up, flare it open to be a vase. It's not completely sealed.
Speaking of which, I left the jacks there. Will you bring them over?
Yes, do you want these little sweeties to get in there?
Sure. They're not warm. Can you give them a touch, a heat?
Sure. Preheating the tools. Very important. Not dripping beeswax all over the marber or all over the bench.
Thank you, sir. Oh, it's still cold. But
Aren't those jacks cool?
they work. There is my smooth table with vase included.
Yeah. Look at that. Interesting. That's an experimental show piece for you right there.
Can you, you'll have the torch at the knockoff station?
I will take it to Torchtown. A little bit of water on the connection. She's going to knock it off and balance it right on that shot glass themed base.
Maybe.
Oh, you can balance it on that, I think.
I'll do it like this so
Okay.
you can get in there.
You got the tongs.
I will grab them. Where am I going?
Little butter knife just to smooth things out because, as you know, it's supposed to be smooth.
Where am I going?
You're going to number trace all the way over there. Oh, it sits like a beauty. Next time, I think we're going to work on giving a final show to the camera. I don't know how well they saw it, but we'll show them on the experimental show.
Is what it is, man. I'm crafting the thing. I'm not here to entertain.
It's 2:38, folks. And it's a beautiful time to be live. So I'm going to do some casting now. This is what I'm going to do here. When I hear smooth table, I thought about making a table, and then I was like, nah, we're not going to be literal with it. I think of a smooth table being protected by coasters. You got coasters all over the house, and you're supposed to, and you know, you're always looking for them when you set something down on a table. If you're a respectable human being, you look at that human being's table that's not yours, and you say, where are the coasters? And if they don't care and there's not any coasters, that's totally fine, but think about that, folks. You got to think about that.
Think about that. Don't ruin the table.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to do with this sweet casting, perfect coaster-sized themed piece. I've got our custom Detroit casting piece of metal. Super cool. We have this as a smaller mold. We originally started our Detroit puddles with the sewer cap from Detroit. We made this one, and on the opposite side we've got Michigan, so that we can have them smaller and have them at an affordable price range for all of our customers. I'm going to utilize this like I did for another customer's custom order that they put inlaid into their new bar they built in their basement. DET ROIT. That's the Det and the Roit. So that's what I'm going to do again here. I'm going to make two different ones. I'm going to put a little bit of frit on here for some color, but I'm going to hit the DET, and then I'm going to hit the Roit. And I'm going to cast them hot. You got to cast it hot as heck so it really pools out, takes that shape, flattens out, and looks really tasty.
You're good.
So that's what I'm going to do. Starting with a little bit of this Pow Pow, folks. This is the Pow Pow. This is a beautiful blue glass, and I'm calling it Pow Pow because it's powder, basically. It's actually one step up from powder, but it's a very small grain. And you can see in this Detroit one, I put a larger grain of green and blue, and the perp in here. And it's a little spotty. You know, you can see the texture in there. It's a little sharp on the backside. It's cool. I really like how it looks. But I'm going to try something different with something that might melt into the glass a little bit more and just put a little hint of the Detroit blue around what's going on here. So I'm just putting it around the Detroit, not in the Detroit area. but it's almost like the water that surrounds this beautiful city of ours.
Is this a good time for me to talk about yellow color that we saw on Blown Away?
Yeah.
I'm going to go grab a bar from your desk.
Cool. I think that looks pretty good, I would say, if I had to say, and I'm saying it. Got that right around the DET. I'm going to gather up a hot molten gather of clear glass. Casting is difficult. There's nothing easy about it because you got to work fast. You got to work with the glass as hot as possible, and there's a lot of weight to it. The cut mark matters. As small of a cut mark as you can do is best. And then, of course, you got to torch away that cut mark and hope that it rounds out perfectly smooth. So we're going to see how it goes here.
Jake doesn't do a ton of casting, but we're going to see how it goes, like he said.
We've got a casting ball here. I don't know if Michelle's mic's on or not. It's not. This is a casting ball, a solid metal steel ball that we're going to coat in a little bit of glass, and then
Why does it look so wonky?
Because I left it over here instead of putting it up there, and it cracked and broke a little bit.
All right, into the clear furnace, which is about halfway down. Jake's doing happy hour tonight, so he's going to be digging the furnace out.
I like to start by getting a nice little layer of clear on top of it, just so everything comes out smooth. There's no bubbles, there's no chunks of metal coming off of the sphere. And now I'm going to go take a real juicy gather on top.
How thick are you going for?
Not too big, just about coaster size.
So different metals will heat up differently too. We know the cast pad won't heat up too much, but Jake doesn't have anything to lift off. Like, what if that mold is hot?
So that's just horrible is what that is.
What a torch it. Oh, you got bubbles?
Good. You got 100 bubbles in it. I folded it over like 8 times. And that's usually how it goes with the first cast.
I don't know. That metal's going to be hot.
So it's a little thick too. I think I could use a lot less glass, but we're going to see. We'll let this one go on here. We'll pull it off. We'll take a gander at it. I got to do it hotter too. Or maybe on the next one I'll take a heat. I'll get the
I would
gather.
do the smaller gathering ball, personally.
I might not even use a gathering ball. I might just use a counterweight because that was just too much glass. But what I'm saying is it's just got to be hotter, and you'll see when I pull this one off of the situation here, the top's not smooth. That's partly because of the bubbles, but it's partly because of the folds, and it's partly just because it wasn't
You want to slide it on there and I'll take it away?
hot enough at all. Yeah. I'll start by grabbing our Grill Master gloves.
They've seen better days, huh?
Yeah, the boys aren't too gentle with them.
The thing about Blown Away blew my mind how much they like rally on those gloves.
Oh my God.
I was
Well, that's
like,
what happens when it's not your shop. It's
I
not your
know.
equipment. Yeah, I was blown
You
away
don't
too.
feel the need to like make the things last.
Why don't we're not going to save that.
Why?
Well, let's just slide it off so they can see the color a little bit on the
Well,
bottom.
then how do I get it back on?
We'll slide it right back on. The DET looks good. It's got to be much shorter. It's way too thick. But too thick, too bubbly. I'll give it another shot. Let's put a little more color down. Okay. All right. Take 2. I'm not going to use the ball this time. Just a nice, hot, juicy gather and see what happens.
I think the vase on my table's bigger than I should have done, so I think I'll have to do a flower arrangement in it. Pull a couple different leaves and stems. All right, we do have the Breath of Michigan's going to be on display for the month of August in the gallery. We're getting the gallery back together. 1 table full of bubbles. If you want to purchase a bubble or take a class to make a bubble, we are doing so. This is where everyone thinks casting's easy. I just pour glass into a mold.
Nothing easy about casting. But this one's not bad. I just had to squish it over to the side. But I think it's the right amount of glass, and if I can get it to flatten out here with a little extra love, you got to be careful not to burn it too is the problem. Actually, I think we got a good one here. I think we got a real good one. Wow. All right. I think we got a good one.
Casting's also different because you gotta wait.
Yeah, the timing's crazy.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, checking out the color.
Sometimes you'll like think you're doing it at the right time, and then you come out in the morning, you open up the annealer, and all of them have little fractures, cracks on the bottom of them, and it's all wasted glass.
And squares are harder because the corners heal.
Super tough. That
cool
was not
first.
a fun project, but it turned out good, and it looks great in their bar. I think this one turned out great. It's perfectly smooth on top, and it's going to keep your table smooth. And I'll make a second one, perhaps after our staff meeting, which is coming up real soon here. And we could probably have them for sale. Look at that. As a set.
D-E-T. All right, you want to
Wow.
slide it on?
Yeah, that one's got a crack right in it. I see it.
Where?
We'll save it anyway, but it cracked. That was too long. Literally just waiting for the top to get not glowing and be solid, and by that time, probably only because we only did 2 castings, usually you got to do a warmer up or 2 to get that piece of metal going. But I saw a crack right in between the D and the E. No good. But that's the experimental show.
Are you doing one more or no?
No, I think that's good. I think we should take a look at them, and then if we like them and we think they're cool, maybe we make a couple more, because I think people love that stuff. Although I do not love necessarily a glass coaster. I like a cork coaster or a leather coaster that eats up those beads of sweat instead of just dripping it all over yourself.
And then making it slippery so it slides off.
Right.
I never understood that. Ceramic coasters too. I don't see why people like those.
Yeah, you set
These
it
are
down,
just
it's like
decorative.
ching. Yeah, decorative.
Cool.
All right, that's very good. So we're going to have an all-staff meeting, our first of the month, like we do every month. Go over how the Guinness World Record event went. Talk about whatever else is amazing around here, and
All the good stuff.
yeah, let's figure it out.
All right, cool. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a happy Sunday. Hope it's beautiful weather where you are, and we will see you on Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, the Gathering Point.
All right.